Okay, yes, I'm live again, but there's a better reason this time. I just decided, let me make a Daima video live real quick. Instead of recording it and editing it, post production, having to upload it and do all that. No, I can just chop out it, from the live. As long as I don't talk, with too many gaps in between. But this is just the live. I'm talking to the live people because it will exist as a live too. But, I'm going to go into talking mode in a second. I'm going to put the music on. Just had to, say why I'm going live, just in case somebody hopped in off rip. They don't know what the fuck's going on. That's what's going on. So I'm about to record a video right now. All right, and that's it. I'll even type it in the chat just in case anybody joins randomly. All right, and with that, let the live recording commence. So, Dragon Ball Daima ended. A lot of people are mad. Some people can't even accept the fact that it's over. Some people want more. I know we all do. But there's a lot of talk coming out from the end of the episode, the last final episode, and it might have created more questions and plot holes than given answers. We got a couple of answers on some things, but not really everything. Let me start by talking of what things were kind of thrown in at the end that would create potential plot holes. I saw it as I was watching the episode. I watched it live. Go check out my live. I didn't watch it already, but yeah. So I saw that shit live. But one thing I can remember off the top of my head was the Magite, the Magilite, that crystal that Bulma got. Something that small is going to create mad questions for people and make them wonder, well, how come she didn't have this substance in Super? Okay, that train of thinking, that line of thought right there. Well, how come this wasn't done in Super? How come we didn't see this in Super if we're seeing it now and it's supposed to have happened before Super, right? I'll speak more on that train of thought, but just know that's the train of thought everybody goes with. That's why they're so confused. Okay. So Bulma getting that crystal is one thing that aligns with that train of thought. Another thing is obviously Super Saiyan 3's existence for Vegeta as a form, especially the fact that he went into the form, right? That's the thing a lot of people couldn't wrap their head around for some reason. I don't know. They couldn't wrap their head around it. But I can tell you for a fact that should be the least of your worries because we got Super Saiyan 4 now. They cannot comprehend. They don't want to accept that this form is canon. A lot of people already were saying that, they believe GT and some of the movies to be separate timelines that exist in the Dragon Ball world. Because I think Dragon Ball Heroes might have gotten to their head. It makes them think the entire Dragon Ball continuity exists on just one point in the timeline in a broad Dragon Ball multiverse. So when Daima's coming out, and they see the existence of a form like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, which we didn't see in Super. How come he didn't use it fighting Beerus? Those questions again, right? Super Saiyan 4 Goku now exists. We know it to be a form that he can go into without really needing Neva's magic invoking it anymore. He went into the form for the second time in this episode without Neva assisting him, okay? So the fact that he can do that is amazing. Vegeta even questioned Goku, like, did you hide this form for me? He said, oh, no, after I fought Majin Buu, I've been training. Basically, he said, I've been training to get it, but I didn't think it would work. Never made it work, okay? So apparently Goku couldn't achieve 4, or he at least didn't think it would work at all. He didn't think a 4 was a thing until Never just brought it out of him, right? That's kind of what that implied for me initially. A lot of people are thinking that means something else. I don't know what else they're getting from that, but I've seen people arguing about this sentence right here too. People look too deep into a lot of things, okay? So the fact that Goku mentions this and then Vegeta kind of reacts to Super Saiyan 3, that was funny to me. He reacts to Super Saiyan, Goku saying, you got Super Saiyan 3, didn't you? He kind of says, man, no, that was Ultra Vegeta 1. He kind of gives it a different name. That for me was kind of implying that, well, yeah, Vegeta didn't like, he doesn't want to refer to it as that. He's still kind of iffy on that form because Goku was hiding it from him and all that sort of thing. I think that's harping on that, but I might be overlooking that. But I thought it was funny he called it Ultra Vegeta 1, nonetheless. But outside of all of that, right? So you have a problem where people cannot accept that Dragon Ball Daima was simply created after all of the things that you already know to exist. This is how retroactive continuity changes would work. Like, this is how they're going to work. They're going to go in the future of Dragon Ball, including the form of Super Saiyan 4 and the existence of Vegeta having Super Saiyan 3. If they're going to go into the future including this, they're just going to simply write it to have always existed anyway, right? So when one of these forms appear in the manga, I wonder how people are going to rationalize these different continuity timelines that they're trying to say exist now. They think everything's on a different timeline, or Daima is a what-if history taking place in a separate timeline of what could have been, when nobody said that. Why do you insist that something created by Toriyama himself is a work non-canon in any way, shape, or form? So that never made sense to me. I don't understand how people can sit there and do that. But we know for a fact Goku went Super Saiyan 4 without never doing anything again. Oh, whoops, I went too far. I got the wrong screenshot on that end. But he went Super Saiyan 4 without anybody ever touching him again. It's inside of him. It's what he can do. So people are going to question, obviously, how come he didn't use it against Jiren? Toriyama didn't write it then. How come he didn't use it against Beerus? Toriyama didn't write it then. That's the simple answer. If you're looking for a meta answer, like an in-story answer, well, we haven't gotten one yet, plain and simple. The fact that we haven't gotten one and that the creator unfortunately passed away after he made this, you can't just chalk that up to Daima not being canon. That's not how that works. Okay, that's not how that works. You can't say Daima's not canon any more than Dragon Ball Super. Okay, yes, there's certain events that don't happen in between the manga and the anime. There's enough ammo for people to sit there and try to explain that these are two separate timelines. No, that's not how it works. Yeah, it's a separate continuity, so things are happening different. The way Goku fought Hit during the exhibition tournament in the manga, it happened a little different than it did in the anime. But the main point of him fighting Hit in this tournament, one of them wins, one of them loses. Whatever happens, boom, 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 the tournament ends. Those main points of the plot stay the same. You look at the tournament of power. Okay, yeah, Goku wasn't the one to exactly land the final blow on Jiren in the manga, but he didn't do that in the anime either. Okay, they both fought Jiren until he was exhausted and tired. Something happened. He couldn't seal the deal on his own. It took a teamwork between Goku, Frieza, and 17 for it to end up working. Okay? So either way, the main point is Goku and company won the tournament of power. So the main points always exist between both continuities. Okay, just how they get to that point might change. Okay, look at Zamasu. One of the Zamasus, his immortality was infinitely existing as actual individual physical beings. So his presence, his omnipotent presence, his omnipresence was more physical than the other one. The other one, his immortality evolved to the extent that he stopped being physical and his omnipotent presence was expanding throughout the universe as an intangible entity or energy, a whole body of energy or some shit, like, you know. So same thing in the end. He was everywhere in the end because they couldn't kill him, because he was immortal. How that happened and maybe the specifics, they're going to change. Of course, especially when you have Toyotaro, who's doing the manga, and he purposely, he has to, or he feels the pressure to, but he almost has to make stuff different when he's forced to do the same exact story arc over, when it would be boring. Like, how else is he going to top the anime? It has animation and movement. How else is he going to top that, other than just giving us a different set of events happening within the story, the same story, right? So it's the same story, different set of events happening. Because of this existence of like separate continuities, I think that it makes people think, okay, there's an anime continuity and a manga continuity, and then the anime continuity has two timelines, which is GT, where it's like, what if Goku got turned into a kid after Majin Buu, and Black Star Dragon Balls A, B, and C, this and that. And then the other timeline sprouts off of what if Goku had to fight the God of Destruction. That would be cool, but that's not how that works, bro. It's not a separate timeline. That's not how that works. It's just a separate series, okay? If anything, GT was trying to continue directly from the end of Dragon Ball's manga story too, because the story for the manga and the anime ended at Majin Buu with that episode of showing Goten and them older and Goku at the tournament. They're all at that last tournament, the end of Z chapter, the infamous end of Z chapter, where Goku fights Oob. That's how Dragon Ball ended in the anime. And GT tried to pick up from that. So the argument that people have doesn't even make that much sense if you really look at the shit. I think a lot of them just love GT too. But yeah, Daima, it's canon, bro. It's as canon as canon gets for Dragon Ball. As canon as Super is, even with its separate continuities. Both stories are what happens in the end. If you ask two people, if you ask a manga only and then an anime only, what happened in the Tournament of Power, they'll give you the same answer. Some of the stories will have different results. One of them especially, they might say, oh, Gohan fought Kefla. You're gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? That didn't happen. Other than that, stuff like that, the main point, what happened in the end of the Tournament of Power, Jiren got defeated because Goku couldn't do it alone, and 17 and Frieza helped him in the end. That's going to be the same story you're telling the anime guy. Like, they both going to get the same conclusion in the end for the same major plot point, okay? So I don't understand how people could sit here and say that Daima's not canon, because they're trying to find loopholes with how these things work, and it doesn't make, you can't do that. Okay, you can't say Daima's not canon because the creator passed away and he can't explain why Goku didn't go Super Saiyan 4, or he didn't already write within the story. He didn't already write within the story why Goku hasn't used Super Saiyan 4 fighting Beerus back when Beerus came out. Oh, they didn't mention Super Saiyan 4 back then. He told Hit that 4 was his that God was his fourth transformation. Man, throwing that screenshot up, that's not how it works, bro. You're trying to find a loophole for something that was just quite literally not thought of back then. Okay, there's a lot of things that weren't thought of back then. Hey, look, the one of the main things, I forgot about this one. It happened way earlier before the transformation started happening. This was something that, because people were already trying to call Daima Non Canon before it came out. But this thing right here that I'm about to mention is especially a big reason why people were trying to say it was non-canon in the early episodes. It's because when Shin Nahare started explaining to Goku and the rest of them about the other universes and the multiple universes and Majin Ramus and how he created the multiverse, we know this to have been information learned in Super during that time. The first time a multiverse was mentioned in Dragon Ball was the Battle of Gods movie when Beerus is fighting Goku. And Beerus was telling Goku in space, like, yo, can't you believe, I'm the god of this universe. This is the seventh universe, blah, blah, blah. And you can't believe there's other strong people out there like me, huh? There's people stronger than that. And Goku's like, oh, shit, and just passed out. So that's the first time the multiverse was mentioned in Dragon Ball, actually. Okay? So people, I don't know, ever since Majin Ramus was mentioned, that was enough ammo for people to try to go back and act like oh, see, this is breaking Super's continuity, because in Super, Goku's not supposed to know this by now. So Daima's a separate timeline. It's no. That's not how that works, bro. When has Toriyama cared? He forgot Gohan turned Super Saiyan. I mean, he forgot Gohan doesn't need Super Saiyan, and Super Saiyan is not his highest form of power. Back when he was making Battle of the Gods, Gohan was Super Saiyan trying to fight Beerus. Then they had to correct it and make him Ultimate. So when has Toriyama cared about those small things, and why do people try to, use the fact that he's not looking at this like small point? They try to use that to support the fact that Daima's not canon, or this isn't canon, or that isn't canon, and it doesn't really make any sense. If you really, really think about it, it doesn't make sense. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that's connecting, and a lot of mentionings of things that connect to what the fuck happens in Super directly too. So everything's not contradicting. A lot of stuff connects directly and fits perfectly in. The things that do contradict, or that just completely weren't mentioned in Super, it will get retroactively explained. Okay, that doesn't make sense. And one more thing, another thing I gotta mention. Okay, another small thing. I know this is a long video, but if you made it this far, and I'm not talking about the live video, but the actual video, if you made it this far, you might as well sub up, man. But listen, I gotta say one more thing. I knew for a fact since the beginning that Kibito Kai and Nahare, my dude right here, them two not refusing I knew they were not gonna refuse at the end of Daima, because, not to shit on any specific YouTubers, but I know, what's his name, Geek them. He's a big leaker, and other people who got inside information, and they're not even relevant enough to be named. I don't even know their names. So I know a lot of people are saying, oh, they're gonna get refused by the end of Daima with magic, because they just heard Geekdom say it, because that's what Geekdom thought was gonna happen, right? But I knew for a fact, like, bro, that might not even happen. We're not even gonna get an answer for that either, because people were trying to say that Daima was also not canon, because how was the Supreme Kai split from Kibito Kai way before the exhibition tournament? Because in the Battle of Gods, they were still fused. If you watch the movie and the anime and read the manga, both of them were still fused. They were still Kibito Shin. Okay, they were still Kibito Shin in both instances, all three continuities. They were still Kibito Shin. That's also extra ammo. Even in GT, I'm pretty sure they were Kibito Shin Kibito Shin all of GT. So since they were Kibito Shin in all continuities, in every instance of Dragon Ball that takes place after Buu, that's another reason for those people who try to askew the thinking, and they try to say, oh, now that makes Daima completely separate from all continuities, because those two are defused before Battle of Gods and right after Buu Saga. Because in the beginning we found out that they retconned the way Majin Buu's internal gases were. So his internal gases now are the reason, which we thought before, and Goku and Vegeta kind of surmised. It was like headcanon within the story and outside the story, because we never got a solid answer on how Vegeta and Goku got defused until Dragon Ball Super during the Resurrection Trunks saga. I mean, not Resurrection Trunks, that's crazy. The Battle of God, the fucking Goku Black saga. There we go. Goku Black saga. They told us that they defused because they are not gods using the Potara, and the fusion is only permanent for gods. And then even them turning into like Super Saiyan and all that, it wore their energy out and made them defuse quicker than they normally would have. So when they thought they fused because of Buu's insides, when Goku and Vegeta, because that's what they said too. Like, it's not just what all of us thought. Goku and Vegeta said that themselves. Like, oh, it must have been because we were inside of Buu. Something funny happened. The Supreme Kai, the Elder Kai, came out his own mouth in Dragon Ball Super and said, no, it's because y'all not gods. Y'all ain't really got that shit. Y'all use the energy up too. So it was a coincidence. Boom. Now we find out it actually was because of Buu's insides and Daima. So it kind of goes back to that. And you can say they, because I'm pretty sure we got that answer that we got because Toriyama did not write all of Super. We know Toriyama didn't write all of Super. He didn't write every single small minutia of Super. Okay, I think even in the manga, we got another slightly different answer for one of those things. Like why Beerus sealed the way to Elder Kai. In the manga, they were playing a video game, or some shit like that, or it was something. They keep changing little things between the continuities. That's what I'm trying to say. Because even King Kai's planet, the reason why it got blown up, it's changed 3 times. First, it just got blown up. Then we found out Beerus did it because he got angry at him for losing some type of game, and then it was over food. They keep changing shit. So now they keep using and looking at every small thing that happens in Daima, using as ammo to support that claim. Doesn't make sense. I knew for a fact, because I digress for a second. Let me get back to the earrings and the Potara. I knew for a fact, like I said, Kibito Shin would not be a thing again before Daima would end. They were not going to refuse again because Toriyama does not give a fuck. He already wrote it in for them to unfuse in Daima. He wrote a new reason for them to have been defused in Daima. People are just going to have to accept the fact that that's what he did, because he probably forgot that he already gave a vague reason in Dragon Ball Super why they got defused. That doesn't make Daima not canon and not connect to Super. It doesn't directly connect anymore, but that's a plot hole, You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to fix that. They're probably not, because they don't care. They're just gonna keep going forward like that shit never happened. So we're gonna have to accept all 3 answers, and we're gonna have to accept the newest answer. You can't accept all 3. You gotta accept the newest answer that we get. Same thing with Bardock and Goku. Bardock, the reason for Bardock sending Goku to Earth has changed with the Dragon Ball manga, Dragon Ball Minus. The one shot that Toriyama gave us in the past, okay? In the anime, and even in the episode of Bardock Saga, it's the same reason. Like, Goku was sent to that planet as a baby, sent to Earth as a baby, as a low-class baby to take over the planet. Now, that's not the same reason anymore. Now the reason is what we saw in the Broly movie. Bardock had that feeling, sent that nigga off. You know what I'm saying? To protect him, protect his son. It's like a whole different reason almost. It kind of changes the character of Bardock. Yeah, Bardock in the old movie, he did want to go see his son real quick, show something was off. He didn't send him away like, I want you to be safe, Kakarot, this and that. It wasn't that. It's a different, definition for the character, slightly. But, with that being said, I think I ran out of shit to talk about. I knew Kibito Kai and Nahare, I knew they weren't going to refuse with some random magic or something, or they're going to accidentally put the Potara back on at another party at Bulma's house. That would have been funny. They put this shit back on by accident, they get drunk. They can't drink, or they can drink. So yeah, they could have got drunk maybe, right? That would have been our answer. Can Supreme Kai get drunk? We would have found that out, but hey, we missed the window for that. Other than that, there's not much else to say. Like, the episode happened, people are gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad, bro. They're gonna be mad. They were even mad at this, like this scene right here. So I knew when it happened, because narratively, writing wise, these characters haven't been together for that long. They haven't been through anything that was super dramatic, that would be like a character bonding moment, that not that strong of a character bonding moment. Nothing super thematic. But this is Dragon Ball, and this is a short story. It was written like a short story. We knew these characters weren't going to be with each other for that long, so the shit that they have gone through, especially knowing that they spent more time in the Demon Realm than what we saw, because we had a couple of little small time skips down there. We didn't see each minute of their journey. I feel like that shit ended everything up nicely, man. That shit ended up everything nicely. It was real nice. Everything hit the way it was supposed to, for being a quick, small story that we already kind of know where it's gonna go before the next episode comes out. For the most part, right? Like, we know that Goku and them are gonna win in the end. First and foremost, we know that's gonna happen. So that's never a surprise. How it happens, let's see that. But we knew as soon as it said we gotta knock the eye out of his head. We know the eye is gonna get knocked out. how we don't know how it's going. It actually surprised us how it's going to happen. We thought Piccolo was going to do it. I thought Piccolo was going to do it. It was actually a surprise, and then Ku became the Supreme Demon Lord, which was amazing. He said, "You get a job, and you get one, and you too." He's making everybody a minister. He's about to clean up the demon realm, make the shit scary and good. And Anrisu, she's gonna follow suit. She's not even bickering or complaining that much. He made her the Vice Demon Lord. It's not even what she wanted, but the fuck she gonna do? Ku stronger than her and smarter. He realizes he's smart. I thought he'd be like, "No, I want to. Yeah, I'll make you the Supreme Demon Lord." No, he understands his own value and shit. He said, "I'm Supreme Demon Lord. You could be my Vice Supreme Demon Lord." So he's running the ship now. I think it's a nice ending, and it left everything open. He even said, like, "Yo, come and save us again if things get dicey or whatever," right? So that's kind of opening up the door. I like how Toriyama writes that. Like he wrote most characters we've been seeing in the past while, like Moro, whether it's Moro or Granola or Jiren or Broly, obviously, right? Everybody other than Cell Max, but not even Cell Max, but like Tamagami's and Dr. Hero, right? So a lot of characters that Toriyama introduced, just like how he's been doing since the beginning. And whenever he introduces a new character that's like a part of the conflict in the beginning, they're on the antagonistic side. So whether it's Dr. Emperor Pilaf, who's finally now in Super, he's become a part of the crew, like low-key. He's living at Capsule Corp, right? Everybody, Piccolo, he's a part of the crew. Vegeta, Tien, Yamcha started off as a bandit, part of the crew. Okay? Like everybody who's an enemy becomes an ally to Goku because of Goku in some way, shape, or form. Right? No different from the Tamagamis. They started off as enemies. Yeah, we know they're not bad guys, but they started off as enemies too. They were enemies. They were working with the bad guys. Now they're probably working at Capsule Corp too. I'm surprised we haven't seen that shit yet. But they're working at Capsule Corp for a fact. Like that's a part of the story. So I expect to see the Tamagamis at Capsule Corp whenever Dragon Ball comes back, and I want to see them fight Goku. That's the thing, right? But yeah, long story short, I'm saying Daima wrapped up in such a way where people like Glorio, Majin Ku, and Do, that all this shit could happen again, bro. All this shit could happen. They left the demon world somehow. We didn't even see Goku and everybody leave the demon realm. Like they have to go through warp. Did they need a passcode? Because Ku's the demon lord now. Did he say, "Nah, fuck that. You don't need a passcode. Just use warp to get out of here"? So we got to see how that works, but we're probably not going to. You know, I'm fine with that. Some people aren't. I'm fine with it. Whether we see it or not, it's okay. Okay, it's all good. But yeah, we know it's left so open that literally anything can happen. Somebody can just come from the demon realm one day in the future. If Toyotaro, because Toyotaro has Dragon Ball now. This is one of the best things about it, right? It's a double-edged sword because Toyotaro, some people, I know they like to praise him a lot more since Toriyama passed, because it's like they're appreciating what he's been doing more since Toriyama's been gone. And they were looking at his past stuff even when Toriyama was here. They look at the stuff from when Toriyama was here and they appreciate that more because Toriyama's gone now. So, I can't do that. All respect to Toyotaro, but I still feel like I view him the same way as I did before Toriyama passed. I don't view him that much better because Toriyama passed magically. Okay, it's not like I think he's worthless. Some people just dog him. They think he's just terrible. That's not true. But I don't think he's perfect. Okay, especially when it comes to writing. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to get to. When it comes to Toyotaro's writing, there's a lot of problems with that. Like, this is the man who said, I didn't even know he said this. This is a man who said, and this is like it might sound like a crazy side note, but there's a show called Star Wars Acolyte. I watched it. That shit was terrible. That shit was god awful. The writing was terrible. This nigga, apparently, Toyotaro, went on his own Twitter account and said that he liked the show, and he specifically had to unfortunately say that he liked the writing. He thought it was really good writing. So just that right there, him saying that something that I think, and I know a lot of people think, like most of the fucking world think, and some Dragon Ball fans think that show was terrible. And it has nothing to do with Dragon Ball. It's a whole different show. The only thing it has to do with Dragon Ball is that Toriyama likes Star Wars too. So there's a lot of Star Wars influences in Dragon Ball. That was one of his inspirations. So that can be a part of the double-edged sword that's facing your way, facing our way. We're gonna get stabbed by that shit, because what if he wants to follow suit by Toriyama and start drawing inspiration from modern day Star Wars? Oh God, he's gonna draw inspiration from that pile of shit. You know what I'm saying? That can go wrong in so many ways. So just aside from that, just the fact that he said that kind of shows me where his mind is at and what he thinks good writing is. And that kind of gave me the answers, as it solidified my reasoning for like thinking he's not that good of a writer in certain aspects. Because it's like, oh, you think that's good writing. No wonder why you think certain things you wrote is good writing. And you did it in the first place. You just let that shit exist and breathe. Like certain things you did, you shouldn't have done. You know, and this is why he's done it. Because he obviously thinks something like that is good writing. So I think his microscope, his like eye for spotting what good writing is not the best. That's what I'm starting to think, right? And I know that Toyotaro, you know, he's trying hard now, so hopefully he's going to do a lot of good shit from, you know, since Toriyama's not here. He has a lot of potential to use almost every single character that we've had build up in Dragon Ball up to this point, like Granola, Glorio, Moro, any character. He can take any character and start implementing them in different stories. Now, if he fucks the story up, then that's a bad idea, because he can kill any of these characters too. But he has the rights. I mean, I don't think they will let him do that, but he has the right to use any of these characters. He can give us a big battle royale like Avengers Endgame with every friend Goku's made. That could be the next Tournament of Power. He gets like everybody in the universe in the demon realm, and now they're fighting with him. It could be anything, but that's my main point. But yeah, that's the last thoughts I have. Let me look at my comments real quick. Blitz Drake, he said Vegeta is such a leech. He got SSJ without watching a friend die, SS3 without going to the other world, God without ritual, and now wants SSJ4. Like, get a job, dude. Stop copying Goku. Listen, it's funny you say that. Vegeta's my favorite character, but I'm gonna be biased, right? I think you must just be a Vegeta hater. Let me just say that, because the first part, okay, you can kind of argue that, but you know, I'm not even gonna talk about that. That's opinionated. Okay, he didn't watch somebody die. You can argue he got it cheaper. I say it was willpower. But that aside, Super Saiyan 3 without going to Otherworld. So like I know people like power scaling and like, you know, looking at the stocks and feats and all that. So you gotta die to get a new form? You telling me you gotta die to get a new form? If you want to look at it like that, he didn't go to Otherworld to get Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta didn't need to go to Otherworld to get Super Saiyan 3. I think you're looking at that backwards, if anything. He didn't need to die to get that. He did that in his living body. Okay, Goku, you can argue that Goku, being in Otherworld, achieved the form easier, because using Super Saiyan 3, there was no toll on his body, you feel me? I'm just saying, there's no toll on his body. So even when he fought Kid Buu, he realized like, oh shit, Super Saiyan 3 is kind of expending more energy than I realized. It was way easier in Otherworld. He couldn't even use it to defeat Kid Buu, even though he said he could. Say, hey, you can look at that one however you want. You can look at that however you want. You said now he wants Super Saiyan 4. Who said that? Who said that? Hey, maybe. I think he does, though. I'm not going to say he doesn't. I do think he wants it low key. I think it's, you know, it's inevitable. Who wouldn't want this shit? Look at this shit. But he didn't say that, though. He didn't say that for a fact. You can't hold that shit against him. He didn't say that. He said he didn't want Ultra Instinct, and it was the truth, you know. He was truthful about that. He said fuck Super Saiyan 3. You know, he went back on that one. That's why he said, nah, that's not Super Saiyan 3. This Ultra Vegeta one. He made up a bullshit name real quick. He didn't want to accept that he was using 3. Okay, I give you that, but nah, bro, you a Vegeta hater. Okay, that's what it boils down to. I think you're hating my man's Vegeta, man. Come on, you can't hate on him, bro. He didn't even like get mad. He didn't even bicker that much. He didn't complain that much about not having 4. Not really. Well, I mean, he complained a little bit, but he ain't complain that much, nigga. Damn, come on. You could be mad. You could be mad a little bit. This nigga got his tail back. He looking like a Saiyan again. Come on, you could be mad a little bit. He ain't copying Goku. And come on, Ultra Ego, just because he called it Ultra. Come on, it's not his fault. It's the next level. What's after Super? Come on, what's after Super? Giga? No, it's Ultra. It's Ultra. Mega? He gonna call himself Mega Vegeta? Come on, bro. It's gotta be Ultra. Now, I think I'm about to be out though. I was just recording all that talking I was doing. I was recording a video live because that shit is way easier. So when I cut the stream, hey, you can go watch the video that's about to be uploaded in like less than 10 minutes because it's gonna be from this stream. Right? I'm just gonna chop this whole part out up until when I stop talking. And then boom, that's a whole video uploaded. I just did that with one piece. It gave me the idea to do it with this, so I don't have to procrastinate on making an actual video. I can just do it live. Scrolling through my gallery as the screenshots. And that's what I did. So yeah, you caught me right at the end. Talking shit about Vegeta too. I wonder why. Did you sub up? If you talk shit about Vegeta, you gotta sub up. You can't talk shit about Vegeta and then just bounce. And say, oh, fuck Vegeta, have a good day. What kind of shit is that? Come on, bro. But yeah, I'm out though. I hope I don't get copyrighted because they think this shit's actually moving. That'd be wild. All right, okay, yeah, but I sent them out 5 times. I'm out. Nobody else? Any more questions? Any more questions? Any more statements? Any more shit to talk that I can respond to? If not, I'm out. I might even be out. Okay. Blitz. What's your name again? Blitz Drake. Yeah. How dare you? Okay, stop it. Vegeta's not a copycat, man. Stop it. It's okay. You can't call everybody a copycat. What happens if he actually does get Super Saiyan 4? Or they want to teach Broly Super Saiyan 4, huh? Because they might be setting that up. Broly might have the potential to get Super Saiyan 4 without the magic. Apparently the studio came out and said that the blue part was the magic, which we all should know. They said the blue part was the magic and the red was Saiyan biology. You already know that. But hey, like I said, you could give me a sub. I'm out. Go watch the video I'm about to chop up. If you were watching the stream the whole time, go watch the video. That's it for me.